The future is ours. America will be a Muslim country. Russia will be a Muslim country. Islam will enter every house. We have to be a part of that change. And never, ever apologize. We're unapologetic. Never, ever compromise. We're uncompromising.
I'm sorry, right? I mean, publicly, right? Socially, with social media, all this thing, Muslims have a terrible public image. Honestly, I think that they're worse. They're terrible. Thanks to their public image. I don't know them personally. I don't know any Muslim person personally. But goddamn, you guys seem terrible. So I don't know if it's just, where's the counter programming? Is it true? Because I don't see Muslims saving anybody. I don't see charity when it comes to the Muslim community helping anyone out. Seems like they want to convert people, that's it. And hate on anyone that's not Muslim. And try to take over nations when back in your own country, you couldn't make prosper, right? Your own country is suffering. Your own country is a shithole, okay? So you want to spread out to other countries that are prospering, that's doing well, to spread the ideologies that led to the shithole nation you came from. It's not like the Muslim public image is about love, charity, respectfulness, care. It's nothing positive. I don't see nothing positive. I only see negative things. So I don't know. I can see why people are fighting against it and people are in uproar against it, because nothing about them is redeeming. Nothing about them is redeeming. It's like the the Christian Crusades all over again. You are now showing the worst part of your religion, of your culture, and you think that's a good thing? You think that's like having people have open hands? The only thing that they're lucky is that we have such a woke nation, right? So many nations are becoming woke, becoming idealistic, becoming like weak. So now, because a lot of nations are becoming weak, the Muslim culture, religion, is now trying to usurp or take advantage of this weakness, which I think is pathetic and sad. But again, it just shows that so many nations are just at their weak point. So I think we need to wake up.
ここは日本の大阪だぜ。
I believe too many people are disrespectful. Too many people on this earth are so entitled. Just like how immigrants or just people who live in the U.S. want to rep other nations, right? Like how Mexicans or whoever, wave the flags of other countries, other nations. The amount of disrespect that you come to another country and out in public or out, in the middle of, a city square or whatever, you are waving another country's flag. Now, whether it's legal or not, it just shows the amount of disrespect you have for the nation you are currently in. This is the insanity, right? This is the insanity, the absolute utter disrespect. I mean, like same thing with like what I was saying, okay? Where during the protests, they burn the American flag. Americans too. Some are probably illegal immigrants, but actual Americans as well. We have so many people who, like, I find it funny because, what is it? I mean, you want to rep your country, you're a nationalist. Yet you would find it disrespectful if somebody burned your flag or go to your country and wave a flag of another nation. This is the amount of like entitlement and disrespect people have. It is utterly disgusting. If you loved your country so much, right, why didn't you stay there? I can never understand, the people who wave the Mexican flag, wave the, Middle Eastern flags of whatever nation, you're from, yet you constantly desire to move to other countries. I find that absolutely disgusting and stupid. Okay? I'm a Vietnamese American, right? Born here, born in America. I've always believed America first. I will never identify myself as a Vietnamese person before as an American person. I believe I'm 100% American. And I rep America, and I believe in America. I love America. Because it's given me the life that I enjoy. If I cared so much about my country of origin, why would I move back to there? Because it's not doing me well? Because it's not good? There's bad parts to it? Yeah, so why rep it? I find people like this so disgusting. Okay, and probably it's more about social media clout or trying to be edgy or be viral or whatever. But it just shows your entitlement. It shows people's entitlement, and I find it funny that some people are so national, so love their country, yet do things that show that you don't really love your country that well. Right? Rep your country's flag in another country, yet you're not living in your country. It's weirder shit.
Someone needs to please explain to me how a person who doesn't seem insane on the surface can hold a view like this. But more importantly, how the hell is he allowed to teach and lead people? And at what point do we classify someone as deranged? This is one of the most outrageous things I've heard. And I want to know why the scholars and religious leaders don't call out this kind of stupidity. Have a watch.
Brothers and sisters, let me tell you something and understand this as fact. As far as sin is concerned, and please understand this message very, very clearly. Of course, it's all sin, it's all haram, none of it is good and accepted. But for the sake of understanding, because many of us, we see a brother that's selling drugs, we see a brother that maybe murdered another brother, and we say, look at these people, look how rubbish they are. Habibi, let me tell you something in the eyes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. As far as sin is concerned, yeah? The one that sells drug, good or bad? Just very quickly, good or bad? Bad. How about the murderer? How about the one who commits adultery, zina? What about the one who rapes a child? What about the one who drinks alcohol? What about the one who does the biggest of the kabair, good or bad? This person, one person that commits all of these sins, he commits all of these sins on a daily basis, but he prays, is better in the eyes of Allah than the one that doesn't commit any of these sins but doesn't pray.
Wow, I'm actually surprised that people can say things like this without being laughed out of the podium. That swathes of people actually think this is acceptable. That's what really worries me. Do you actually realize how easy it is to establish the stupidity and foolishness of this? Like, you can go to a 3, 4 or 5-year-old and ask them, what do you think is worse? To miss a prayer or to do one of these horrible crimes? That's how basic this is, that a child knows how to answer it. And there's no way you can get to the conclusion of this man without actually being completely brainwashed. So what's actually wrong with this? First off, he claims that what he's about to say is a fact. And I must say, so many of us Muslims have such low self-awareness that we think just because we believe something, that it must be a fact. No, just because you believe something and you think it's a fact, doesn't make it a fact. Imagine how many sheeple he's misguiding here by claiming that this is a fact, when in fact it isn't. And no one will question him because you know what? We're taught not to question. Secondly, he speaks on behalf of Allah, as if he knows Allah on that level. I'm sorry, but who are you to speak about Allah in that way? As far as sins are concerned, in Allah's eyes, really? Allah told you this personally? Because Allah doesn't even explicitly mention that missing prayer is a sin in the Quran. There's no mention of punishment for missing prayers in the Quran for this world or the next. But yet it's worse than murder, adultery, child rape, and selling drugs all put together? Seriously, brother, your brain has malfunctioned. But the most tragic thing about this isn't the lunacy of this one individual, but the fact that hundreds of thousands of people like this clip and agree with his message, and that none of our so-called scholars have the balls to publicly call out this utter bullshit. Now, look, having irrational beliefs is one thing when it doesn't result in pain or suffering. But when ideas like this are planted in people's heads, it suddenly makes the most heinous crime seem, well, not so bad as long as I'm praying. And that's the sad reality of a lot of Muslims. The worst kind of self-righteousness. You see people outwardly looking righteous and praying and showing everyone that they've got big beards and they wear the thobe, but inwardly are corrupt, are rotten, are doing unimaginable crimes, but they justify it to themselves because you know what? At least I'm praying.
So it's a beautiful day in Somalia because they passed a law where you can't marry a literal child. Now you have to be 18 to be able to get married. I can't believe that law even existed. And so while you would think a lot of people would be happy, nope. Here come the old pervert geezer grandpas crying online about it. So this man is basically bawling. I wonder if he bawls and cries about other things in life. No, he seems like this was like the most serious thing. He was crying because they changed the law, basically saying, why don't we fear Allah? Why are we not fearing Allah? Because this is a religious thing. And he's asking, where's the Islamic scholars at? Why are they letting this happen? Like, he's so devastated. But it's funny because the truth is coming out because a lot of Islamic people, what they say is, no, that's not an Islam thing. That's a cultural thing. It's a cultural thing. Lies. You're trying to practice taqiyya or whatever that thing is called, where you have to lie your way to further your religion. But no, we could see that it's clearly not cultural. It is an Islamic practice. Even this man said it was.
hadda shareecada islaamku waxay leedahay waxa waaye waxaa lagu qaangaarayaa calaamado la yidhaahdo calaamadaha qaangaarka. gabadhu haddii dhiig isku aragto iyadoo 9 sano 10 sano 11 sano jirto hadday dhiig caadi isku aragto way qaangaartay. sidoo kale wiil.
So yeah, we need to be careful because if not, this is what they want to bring over here. Did y'all see that lady from Georgia that's trying to run? Hell no. Y'all better not let her win. Y'all better not let her win because yes, Sharia law, that's the kind of laws that they support. That's the kind of things and gross things that they support.
A woman in Gaza, she had pulled a pot of boiling water over herself when she was like 5 or 6 years old. She goes back to Gaza after being treated for 4 or 5 years in Israel, but has a pass to get in and out of Israel. So she gets recruited to be a suicide bomber. She chose the hospital that had treated her and saved her life. She tries to detonate it, it doesn't go off. She gets thrown in jail. Again, the Israelis treat her. They help her with her burns. They educate her. They give her a college degree. And now in the Gilad Shalit deal, she goes back to Gaza. So I get into Gaza and I bring with me an iPad that has the video of her trying to blow herself up. And I said, what do you think watching? She goes, I'm thinking I almost tasted paradise. Would you do it again? Absolutely in a minute. This is my calling in life. These people treated you in all of your burns. They saved your life. You tried to blow them up. They still treated you. They educated you. And now you have a chance at life back here in Gaza. And you'd want to blow them up. And she goes, absolutely. And that's when my mind was made up about sort of the moral clarity of the Israeli-Palestinian debate. Are the Israelis perfect? No, but that's what they're up against.
Walls are clean now, but a year ago, this church in Euless is where prosecutors say a late-night act of graffiti crossed the line into a hate crime. 3 Muslim activists face felony charges, one of them Afshin Khan, surrounded by dozens of supporters and her attorney Monday.
It is a case that is placing our First Amendment rights and our sense of justice on trial.
Sources tell WFAA that on March 7th, 2024, exterior security cameras at Uncommon Church in Euless captured footage of the accused in the parking lot. Then the 3 are allegedly caught on camera spray painting anti-Israel graffiti that included profanity on this section of the brick wall at the church. Khan's indictment says she intentionally selected the victim, meaning the church, because of religion. That elevated the charges to a hate crime, which could mean tougher penalties if convicted.
I think that protest, graffiti, that sort of thing is the language of folks who are unheard. And my heart went out to them.
Khan's trial is set for September 30th. Jury selection started Monday for co-defendant Rana Alam, despite demands from advocates, including CARE, the Council on American Islamic Relations.
We demand that the charges be dropped immediately.
Tarrant County District Attorney Phil Searles responded saying, CARE is an advocacy group, not a law enforcement agency. Their mission is to push their agenda. Our mission is to uphold the law, and that's what we'll do. And that includes the DA's decision to upgrade the trio's original misdemeanor charges to a felony hate crime.
Our elected DA, Phil Searles. And he's doing it for the same reason that overdramatic prosecutions always happen, to scare people.
If convicted, both Khan and Alam face up to 10 years behind bars. In Tarrant County, I'm Scoop Jefferson.
What happened to a gay couple in Palestine, sir? What? What would happen to a gay couple in Gaza?
Executed according to Islamic law. Islam doesn't endorse gayism. Islam doesn't endorse homosexuality.
And do you think that's good?
If I were to...
Do you think that's good, sir? Do you think it's good for gays?
I would get executed, right? I would get prosecuted. In the same way, Islam doesn't approve of being gay.
I see. Okay, so would you like to see Sharia law in Canada replace Canadian law?
At some point it will. You know, because we have families, we are making babies. You're not. Your population is going down the slum.
That's
right? Yeah. And by 2060, according to Pew Research Institute, your research, by 2060, Muslims will be the biggest religious group the world over. What are you going to do then?
Actually,
are you going to oppose Sharia even then?
Well, you know what? I'm very appreciative of the honesty. We don't usually get that. So you do support Sharia. You do want a Muslim majority nation in the West End, correct?
Just like you had a Western majority nation in a land of Native Americans, one day we can have a Muslim majority nation here in Canada. Right in your face.
I do appreciate the honesty. And here's my controversial opinion. Islam or Muslim society can do this because feminism hasn't affected them. Feminism hasn't poisoned them. Because you can see all these countries, right? You know, Japan is doing it. I think North Korea, you know, Canada, the UK, America, where feminism has pretty much conquered the country. And what the result of feminism is a low birth rate from actual citizens. So now you see, and I saw videos of Muslim living in Japan, Muslim living in all these other countries. Their society has not been affected by feminism. Okay, feminism hasn't poisoned their society. So their birth rates are high, while all these other countries, their birth rates are low. Thanks to, in my honest opinion, feminism. Right? Feminism was the starting point for all these changes in these countries, where now women, their role is not as a mother. Their role isn't as the family, which is whatever. It is what it is. I'm not complaining about it. I'm saying this is what I believe is reality. Women are now in the workplace. Women are focusing on the work. Women are focusing on, you know, creating, having a career, and not focus on, you know, family. While Muslims, that's what they're doing. Okay, they're focusing on family. They're focusing on having kids. So you can see that, like you said, Pew Research and all that shit, that their population is reported to going to be growing more than other communities. So this is the danger, you know, this is the danger that people don't understand, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. Yeah.
Are you Islamophobic?
There's no such thing as Islamophobia. Phobia is an irrational fear.
Sure.
All the things I talk about, when you pick up the Quran, there's 100 verses in the Quran which incite violence against non-Muslims. There's 4 verses in the Quran that say that Muslims can take non-Muslim women as sexual slaves. Actually, one of those verses say they're blameless. Now, when we see the statistics that we have in the UK, Muslims make up 5% of the UK population. They're responsible for 90% of the convictions of groups of men, young kids. Why? Why isn't it Sikhs? Why aren't the Jews doing that? Why aren't the Hindus doing that? Why is it the Islamic community? 30% of the men convicted of gang rape of children are called Muhammad. Islam promotes it.
You think Islam promotes it or extremist Islam?
Muhammad. Was Muhammad an extremist? Muhammad beheaded 600 people in one day. Muhammad women. Muhammad married a 6-year-old when she was 9. When people say about extremism or Islam, there is only Islam. There's not extremist Islam, moderate Islam, there's Islam.
Can you explain the difference between cultural Islam and religious Islam?
Many Muslims are just born with a Muslim identity and they feel like they have to defend it, yeah?
Okay.
Even when you're talking about it, they don't know what they're defending.
Sure.
They don't know everything about the life of Muhammad. They don't know he murdered, he pillaged. They don't know the life of Muhammad. But they're born Muslims. So I'd say that they're cultural Muslims.
You know, controversially, I think Muslims are purposely trying to spread. Right? I think, because you're seeing this all over the place, right? You got Japan, you got the UK, you got Paris, you got America, they're spreading. And I think they're doing it purposely to spread their influence, to spread their doctrine, right? I think they're doing it purposely. I mean, so be forewarned. They're moving around because this is the thing where I can't understand that if you're so religious, right, a devout religious, why not be in a country where everyone is of the same religion, which is back where you're from? Why immigrate? Right? Why go to a country where you are now the minority? I believe it's to secretly, right, grow your population, grow your power, because I think there are growing power of what is it? I think I saw a UK thing where there are more Muslim mayors or whatever are getting in power in their system. Same thing with America. I think it's happening. So I don't know. I don't know. I mean, it could be something that's something, that they're trying to do, but it just seems like that. Like, why not stay in a country that you are the majority, right? Your whole country is about that. Instead of going to other countries where you are the minority. I think it's to hopefully usurp or hopefully get a stronghold, spread your influence. That's what I think,
Would you rather marry your mother or would you rather marry a child?
Non-Muslims will have to pay a tax. Yeah. Do you agree with that? Like, if someone doesn't want to follow their religion, They have to pay a tax?
Yeah, that's fine.
That's fine.
Yeah, what's
You
the issue?
wanna join in?
What's the issue with that? What's the issue with that?
What's the issue? I don't want to be a Muslim.
You don't have to be a Muslim. Just pay your 2% tax.
Well, I don't want to pay a tax just because I'm not Muslim.
So you stop in the UK, just stop paying your taxes and see what happens to you.
It's not because I'm not Muslim, though. Everybody pays taxes here.
Yeah, and we as Muslims, we pay zakah. You know, zakah is charity. You as a Muslim, you don't pay that. So this is why you have to pay. And by the way, you pay taxes because you're under our protection. If the country was to go to war, right, you would not join the army. We would have to defend you. This is why you pay the jizya tax. It's called the protection tax. So if the country was to be invaded, you wouldn't fight. You would just be chilling in your house and we would fight. Do you agree with Western values?
Yeah, of course.
So why does the West allow you to marry your mother?
In Islam, a lot of these countries, you marry children.
I'm saying, okay, would you rather marry your mother or would you rather marry a child? Huh?
Neither.
Huh? I'm saying,
Neither.
By the way, in Islam, we don't believe in child marriage. Can you provide your evidence to marry children?
What's the age of consent? I think Iraq or Iran? It's like 12.
Iraq isn't a Muslim country. Neither is Iran. It's not a Muslim country.
What religion are they?
They claim to be Shias are not Muslim. We don't believe they're Muslim.
They claim they're Muslim.
So are you Christian?
No, I'm not.
So what do you believe?
I'm not religious.
Where do you get your morality from?
I think it comes instilled in us.
Let's just say, okay, if somebody wants to sleep with their mother, objectively, how could you say that's wrong?
That's wrong. That's someone who gave birth to you.
According to you?
I would say intuitively.
According to your own subjective opinion.
I mean, I just think it's intuitive in us.
Why do most European countries allow you to marry your mother?
Wait, so if you don't agree with Western values, why do you guys live in a Western country?
Yeah, because we want to be here.
If you're so protective, why are you living there? Why aren't you protecting your own country right now? Though most of them are not natural born citizens. Okay? And even if they are, right? How about their fathers, their grandfathers? If you believe this religion so much, we should depend on you for our protection. Did your country depend on you for your protection, for their protection? Or are you left your country for safety? I don't give a shit what religion you are, but when I hear hypocrisies, you have no leg to stand on. When you hear hypocrisies, you have no leg to stand on. And here's my gripe, right? I'm not supporting, right? I wouldn't even support the whole your son marrying your mother, right? But we have to look at this objectively. As disgusting as it is, one is two adults marrying each other, right? Even if it's incestuous, it's disgusting, yes. It's two adults doing it. The other is one adult, one child. So there's who's consenting to that? At least the two adult thing, like I said, even though it's disgusting, and I don't know how true that is, but maybe, I guess. It's still two consenting adults. While the other one isn't. It's a child. So really, I mean, in a world as disgusting as the world is, which the world is disgusting, I'd rather pick that, you are legally able to marry your mother than you're legally able to marry the child. Okay? If I had to choose. But it's disgusting. But at least there's two consenting adults. While the other one is a child. And again, to be honest, this is the hypocrisy of a lot of religion, right? So, which is why I don't really follow religion like that. It's just, in my honest opinion, a lot of times it's a whole bunch of hypocrisies, right? It's a whole bunch of delusions. So, for me, religion isn't for me. I like to do logical morality, right? Don't do things onto others that you don't want things done to you, right? It's a logical morality. It's like a selfish morality, right? If you care about yourself, well, you should be caring about other people because you wouldn't want shit to be done to you. So,
20 years of service in the military. Yesterday, I got pulled into an officer's office and counseled for a post that I have on my social media. During the counseling, they told me I'm under investigation as a threat to national security. When I asked for proof, like what the posts were yesterday, they refused to give it to me. They made me come back today to further go over stuff. They gave me the proof, and the proof they gave me are anti-Israel posts. Now, when I joined the military, I took an allegiance to support the United States of America. I did not ever take an allegiance to support Israel. But yet, I am deemed a threat to national security because I do not support Israel and their genocide against the Palestinian people. Yes, you heard that right. I am deemed a threat to national security because I don't support Israel's genocide against the Palestinian people.
I don't know, maybe I'll get hate for this, but he had me until the end. He had me until the end. This is the thing where I don't understand the people right now. I don't understand people right now. I've said this before, and I will continue saying this. America first. America first. I don't give a shit about Israel. I don't give a shit about Palestine. I don't give a shit about Ukraine. I don't give a shit about Russia. I don't give a shit about China. None of these countries I give a shit about besides America. And here's the thing. None of them gives a shit about us besides them first. They care about themselves before they will ever care about an American or America. So I was with him until he said the genocide. I don't negate if, I mean, I don't even pay attention because seriously, I don't give a shit. But I wouldn't negate if there were war crimes or atrocities that are happening there. If it happens, it's happening. It's not your country. It's not your country. It's not your people. Now, if you care so much, go there, help them out. The problem I find with this is that we as Americans, our country, we're not at our best. We're not at our best in a lot of things, in most things. We have people suffering here, okay? Deaths, cities getting killed by gang violence, overdose, people suffering from drugs. Education, our education system is suffering. Okay, we have our people is suffering. Our people is not doing well. So to care about what's happening in another country, which I understand it, but again, we have to look inside our house first. Okay, we have people fighting against each other, right? I think we are another step closer to like our own civil war, right? Hating on each other. Okay, so we're not doing well. Since we're not doing well, I think it's insane to care about others. Okay, who are we to step in and try to dictate what happens to other people's nations? Are we God? Is that our country? Because I don't understand this, that people complain about colonialism. Do you know interfering in other people's nation is part of colonialism? Right? Interfering in other people's issues is part of it. Right? Because you have to take over it. You have to take charge. You have to, change the course of their nation. So, again, I really think I really hate American foreign policy. I really do. Because America first. Until we are doing well in pretty much every metric, it is stupid to care about others, in my opinion.
I am offended that our children are not receiving affordable gender reassignment surgery along with hormone blockers and access to abortions. This alone is a threat to our democracy, as Justin Trudeau only says. It just shows that you people do not care about our children, and that these are the same people who refuse to obey the science and get fully vaccinated. It's science, people! Science! Science! And you are selfish murderers. I could die. Don't you people care about my life? You racist, insensitive, homophobic pigs! My 14-year-old openly gay sibling's transgender offspring also has two daddies who love their offspring so much, and CPS is working overtime to take their child away. However, my biggest concern is that my sibling's offspring isn't allowed to play in the 8-year-old girls basketball league at the YMCA. This alone is showcasing the worst form of transphobia and is a threat to our democracy. My sibling's transgender offspring feels like an 8-year-old girl. Therefore, they should be able to play in the 8-year-old girls league. Imagine living in a world where a little transgender offspring isn't allowed to follow their dreams because of transphobic Trump supporters and science deniers and conspiracy theorists. I still have nightmares every single night because of the hateful things that Donald Trump said on Twitter. I praise Joe Biden for having the courage and decency to stand up and say that poor kids are just as bright as white kids. In this previous election, decency was on the ballot, and that's what I voted for, not this racist dictator, Donald Trump, the orange man.
Your time is up. No, your time is up. Thank you. I'll just reiterate that we
There are actually crazy people like this. We actually have people like this. I've seen many videos of different people exactly like this. There's something wrong. There is something wrong where we have all these mentally unstable people right next to you. Okay? Voting with you. Living right next to you. We have a lot of problems. We have a lot of problems, right? So many unstable people.